Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm doing all right. I promised that I would do this today. I got a bit of a sore throat coming on from allergies. It is just, it is gross out, man. It's real gross out. But hey, I'm playing, well, I was gonna say I'm playing video games, but I'm not. I'm streaming a thing. It's called Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. This is the third VOD. Let's go ahead and switch things over to the capture region. Hello. Where's the button? There it is. Okay, boom. Hi, how are you doing? You guys like aimed up at the ceiling? There we go. Hi. We should make some spooky flesh sounds. Let's see. Where was that? Oh, I was gonna put in flesh, but it's Fruity Loops. Swear to God, one day I'll actually buy it. My dad apparently popped in last time we were mixing this, and he was like, "What was that?" I don't think we've got one for it. Okay. But yeah, he apparently saw me mixing this, and he was like, "What were you doing?" And I'm like, because he does music. And he was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's making meat sounds." Okay, yeah, we can do something with that. It's like off. Good meat sounds. All right, select all, copy. We're gonna have another. We're gonna do a little bit of mixing. I think I might just slow this down to like 60 beats per minute. Okay. 45 beats per second. Wait. Ah, I see. Okay, we need to make all of this longer. So let's just do that, and then let's make this all just like go on for like 2 measures instead of one. That'll be nice long meat sounds. All right, now copy, and then yeah, I know I'm using the yep, that's fine. So let's select all, delete, paste. Did I get a haircut? I did since last time I streamed this. Is it already 5? No. Oh, that was my timer to remind me to come inside and actually stream. Let's get another meat sound. It's like, what was that about? Some hot tea. Speaking of I need some, like, wet sounds. There's just nothing else to this? How are we getting... Was it, like... Well... Alright, can we make it more wet? Is this gym creepy or wet? It's wet. Usually there is just straight up a thing called wetness. Alright, if we, I think this is what we did last time, is we just did, like, random impulses. How much have I missed so far? Just me mixing some meat sounds. I haven't started reading yet. No, I want to get the meat sounds in order first. All right, and then we want to bring all of this up super high. And then I still have the, Okay, and then this one is going to be on, what is the thing for it? The track. Because I want to add wet effects. It sounds like it's on 4. So let's put, what is it? I probably should have made the meat sounds first, but I like doing it on stream. It's fun to mess around with this program. No fucking good at it, but it's fun to mess around with. So it's not delay that I want. I want, there's one that's just like echoes. Where do we have that? Replace with, what is it called? Reverb. There it is. This is the reverb I like. All right, and be super wet. Meat sounds. Meat sounds. These are some good meat sounds, right? I think that's some good meat sounds. All right, cool. Now we can read. Meat ASMR. All right, good. But yeah, so my dad was like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was making like a soundscape for the meat cavern." So then I had to explain what this was. And I was like, "Okay." Well, thank you, Armageddon. Getting a haircut helps quite a bit. All right, so what do we got here? Last time we did this, we got to here. So this is Fundamentals of Science. I'm just going to read over what this is, and then we're going to try and read this, because I don't understand what I'm looking at right now. It's been a minute since we read this. I don't remember when the last VOD was, like last month. I should also mention, yeah, we're still raising money for Ukraine refugees. If you want to donate, !donate in chat. We'll get you the link. Last time I checked, we were at 11K, and I'm going to just check right now. Where are we at? We're just over 11K, but we're making some progress, and just go straight to the refugees, so no weapons, just like medical supplies and food. So if you're concerned about that kind of thing, we're not doing that. We're not giving people guns. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're trying to save people from awful situations, to give them just a peaceful life that they wanted, because that's why they were living in a neighborhood, and now they don't have that neighborhood. So if you're down, there's the link. Donate if you can. Don't donate if you can't. And let's get into reading. Like many of the aspects of the mystery flesh pit, the more visceral reality of the pit was usually glossed over with a more clinical veneer by professionals who studied and worked within it. This treatment extended to the often cryptic vocabulary used to refer to different elements and fields of activity surrounding the pit. Shown here is a chart which illustrates the differences and similarities between these interconnected scientific, political, and commercial fields. Okay, gotcha. So, venturology, the broad study of systems, theory, and processes. How weird is that? Like, how often do you see people who study just one animal? Not like all, I don't know, gorillas, not all silverback gorillas, but like just one specific weird freak of a gorilla, right? Like, you can have a degree in this weird freak. Because it's not like there's another one, right? I mean, I guess it's kind of a different situation. If it had melted a bunch of clowns, I'd study it too. That's true. That's true. How are you talking about, Hal? Hey, Hal, how you doing? We're reading Mystery Flash Pit National Park. It's not. I mean, is it an animal? It's alive. It's a creature. Maybe whales? I don't know. Whales are weird. I guess, like... But it's also, like, its own... It's more like studying, like, a jungle. Like, all of... I don't know, the Amazon. Just specifically, your thing is the Amazon rainforest, you know? Because there's other animals that live within this thing. So maybe it's closer to being, like, a guy whose thing is just studying the rainforest. Like, that makes a bit more sense. I can see how that could be a degree. But like a very specialized, specific degree, but a degree. Or yeah, like weird coral or something. Alright, so we got the material gestation science, the theory and study of the process of retrocognitive material gestation and its effect on venereal biology and the human psychology. Okay. And this is all of this. So it also involves a little bit of like chemistry and land management. Okay. Like, let me know if you see one that like kind of pops out to you. So geobiology, of course that makes sense. Yeah, the study of interactions between the biological processes of the Permian Basin superorganism and the geological processes of the Earth. Ventrobiology is the study of the life processes of the PBS and the living ecosystem within it. Rip clowns. Like how mushrooms are part of one huge network. Yeah, that's weird to me. That the largest known living organism on Earth is like a colony of mushrooms, technically, because it's like it's not an animal, but it's alive. It, you know. Yeah, but it's massive. It can be like forest sized because it just all of the mushrooms in a forest are connected by their roots. So it's one organism that just happens to be very large. It's fucking weird. Study of plant fungi unique to the thing. Study of animal life inside. Sure, because this would be like, okay. I think it would be important to study this thing. I think that's where I'm at with this. This is an important thing to study. Maybe it's just because it's here in Texas. But if this thing was real, I would really want someone to be on top of this and be like, what the fuck is it? The venereal conservation and ecology. So this is part of land management, venerobiology. This is like the weirdest Venn diagram ever. Resource extraction. Okay. Okay, so it's the trying to not have it kill you. So this is the stuff like if you were part of venereal conservation ecology, that would be like making sure it had Tums that you could pump into the system for when things went bad. Mining technology, sure. I mean, that's pretty much engineering and resource extraction. And then on the other side of this, it's the without the resource extraction, These all sound like classes you could take in college. And it'd be like, yeah, I just want to be like, I don't know. Like when I was in college, when I first went to college, I really wanted to get into making augmetics, or like, I say augmetics, but, you know, cybernetic parts, robot parts to replace limbs and stuff like that. Because I saw that as not only important, but good work and something that was going to happen. And it is happening. It just kind of sucks now. But it turns out that I'm just not math-minded for that kind of thing. Anyway, I've told that story a billion times. But these all look like courses that I would have to take. And these would be like the descriptions when you're looking at like oh, you've got the little pamphlet, because it's, of course, still a piece of paper in these books. And they're telling you, like, what classes you want to take. And I'm just like, dude, I just want to, like, make robots. Man, just tell me which one of these ones makes me make robot arms. Have you seen the story about the guy with ALS who was able to communicate recently and he asked for a beer? Yes. That's very cool. Why not grab one of these over... Okay, so they used to be buyable. There are only 70 of them. And again, there is like a... Oh. Wait. I guess they... So, if you go here... I talk about this every time because I think it's great. You can buy like actual merch. So this is a patch that they made. This is really nondescript. This kind of doesn't read quite right. I love that the stitching is like that. It's good. Please put a link to this archive in chat. I want to read along. Sure. This is the order I'm reading it in, if you want. There you go. It looks like a fleshy cave interior. It reads. It's fine. Yeah. It's kind of hard to do with this. Patreon, so this is like basically just like, hey, you could buy this, and now you can because it's out of, you know, stock. And wonder if you can buy it on Home Goods. It looks like you can't buy it anymore. I'm really tempted to like get an anodyne patch and put it on something and then just like go into stuff and pretend like I work for a company. You know what I mean? Because it looks like an official, like, actual logo that someone would have. Just kind of want to, like, go in places and, like, fuck with the electronics. I don't know. I'm a goblin. Slightly concerning mailer ad going out to Texans this week. This November, help us eliminate the oppressive Bush-era bureaucratic regulations that is currently strangling our ability to provide jobs and prosperity to the disadvantaged communities of the Southern Plains. On November 2nd, vote yes on Texas Proposition 9. Oh, I hate these. Where they don't even tell you what it is, just... If you carry a ladder, you can do whatever you want. Dude, I saw this weird ass video the other day. Where it's this guy. Don't ask me why I was looking this up. I don't want to explain myself. But it was this guy, and he's like, "Here's how you slash a tire." It's just a YouTube video of a guy slashing a guy's tires, and then calling him and be like, "Hey, dude, like, someone slashed your tires," and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I wasn't around, and I guess they, you know." But anyway, and he's like, "Yeah, you don't want to slash all of them because, you know, it's like $50 a tire. So, you know, this guy owed me $100, so I slashed 2 of his tires." Yeah, don't slash all 3 of them or 4 of them. This is just messed up. Don't do that. Like, that's weird. You know, he best be like fucking your mom and your wife if you're gonna slash all 3 or all 4. I don't know why I think cars have 4. I don't know where these /3 so insurance won't cover it thing. Like, that's... It's based on their deductible, you know? If you slash too many, then you probably go over their... Why am I giving you crime advice? Don't slash people's tires. Legitimately, don't slash people's tires. Not because, like, you know, it's illegal or whatever. Like, I'm not even going to that angle. But, like, think about how much pressure is inside of a tire. And you're just going to release that all at once while stabbing it with a sharp object. And you're putting yourself right next to it when you're doing that. Right? I'm just saying, like, it will immediately launch back out. And it's a sharp object right near you. Okay? Don't do that. You know? It's 100% not the way to do that. That's how you get in... You could break some shit. I've seen shit where people break their arms or whatever because they slashed the tire wrong. Larger tires have more PSI. Anyway, it's illegal to slash tires. Are you helping these people slash? Listen, I've never slashed anyone's tires. Yeah, I can say that. I've never slashed anyone's tires. Anyway, people that say that heavy industry isn't a woman's place, but I love my job. PBRC has given me confidence to overcome any preconceived ideas about who I am or where I'm going. The world has all kinds of ideas about the PBRC, but every day I'm seeing the good work that it does for the local Tejano and LGBTQ communities that call West Texas home. I wonder what Proposition 9 was. A pink-haired girl in the ad? Yeah, no, they got a pink-haired girl in the ad because she's gay or something. This is far too real. No, whoever did this did a great job. The flesh tubes. Photo from around 2002 inside one of the fully enclosed trails within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. These trails were some of the most expensive to both construct and maintain, offering unparalleled access to the interior of the park to all people, all physical conditions. Well, it doesn't have any reference to the world in 2001. It's therefore it's shit. I haven't seen, like, Turning Red. I don't really have a whole lot of interest in it. Just kind of tired of Pixar movies, I'll be honest. But I've heard of the Turning Red review. I thought that, like, they were going the other way with it, where it was, like, constantly fucking talking about the fucking, like, 9/11 and shit. But I mean, like, listen, for reals. This is not real. No, this is not a real thing. This is a story. Bronchial Junction Axis Way, 7A. Yeah, no, this is fake. This is a meat tube. It's just made to look real. It's a story. Holy shit, Mario's real. Oh, I've been waiting for this page for a while, dude. This is a fucking big ass page. We got to go through this one. Okay, so the scan of a 2006 pamphlet offering the information about the amniotic thermal springs known to many as the pleasure domes within the now enclosed Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. The thermal baths were one of the highlights of the park, drawing in tens of thousands of visitors each year, particularly during the cold winter months. It was the only park permanently closed. It was only after the park was permanently closed in 2007 that the long-term effects of exposure to the amniotic spring fluid, or ballast, became apparent. Many of those who routinely soaked in the baths went into a depressive withdrawal periods, as the price of extracted ballast fluid since the tragedy had skyrocketed. Today, those willing to spend thousands of dollars on purchasing the illicit substance can experience this enchanting elixir. Oh, wow, okay. The horny domes. So we got different baths that you can go and, like, hang out in. I hate this. This is super fucked. Like, this, like, where it's, like, pressing out the edges of the... Like, that's not good. Alright, can I, like... Big? Performing a TLS handshake to assetstumblr.com. I don't know what that means. We're just gonna open image a new tab. Am I still live? Like, yeah, I'm still live. Okay. I'm really excited about Tumblr's new ad program. I was like, am I still live? Because this is taking forever to load. I'm really excited about Tumblr's new ad program. It's pretty exciting. I wanna put things on ads. I haven't decided what yet, but and I haven't figured out how you do it yet. But I just want to like put random shit on there because like the ads on Tumblr now are just chaotic because anyone can pay for it. They have a special 420 deal for today and today only. Just put Pingal's tits on there or something. Just big old titties. Okay, so I guess that's not working, but prices locker rental $5, bottled water $12.75. That's how you know it's real. Hand towel $22 when available. Located in the warmer crypts of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the amniotic thermal spring are renowned worldwide for their delightful effects on the mind, body, and spirit. Again, addictive drug, it turns out. First discovered during the early exploration of the Mystery Flesh Pits in 1970, the amniotic thermal baths are one of the earliest draws to the park. Many people have traveled across the country to seek out the mystical properties of the healing baths, which, when were rumored to heal all ailments and cure diseases. Heal ailments and cure diseases. Great. Many others, calling them pleasure domes, enjoyed the aphrodisiacal effects of the amniotic fluids. Today, the tradition continues for modern bathers who use the springs medicinally and recreationally. Rev, I have good news. I did a weed for the first time today. Okay. That's good. That you enjoyed yourself. I will not be encouraging this behavior because that would make... Is that illegal? Am I allowed to do that on Twitch? I don't know. Follow your dreams. That's a good point, Luigi guy. Follow your dreams. Amniotic fluids are extracted and diluted and pumped to the surface. So they've got surface baths, and then they got these deeper baths, and it kind of goes into it here. The main bath is like the potency. So at this yellow line, at the green line, excuse me, I didn't see that. Visitors are encouraged to consult a physician before entering the baths below the green line. Visitors are encouraged to consult a religious, mystic, or sexual wellness consultant before entering the baths below the yellow line, including the libido bath and the vibrous bath. Springs potency chart. Access the... So where are those? So the libido bath is all the way down here, and then... So that's the furthest down one. But the Vibrous is over here. How do you even get there? Undeveloped ballistic bulb. Visitors are encouraged to experience the traditional bathing process by crawling into the bulb orifice. No. God, no. No. Visitors should use caution when diving into the ballast crops. Many are not entirely mapped. Commercial extraction lease area off limit to park visitors. Lower trail to lower visitor center. During an emergency, the bathhouse facility is designed to act as a reinforced shelter. Photo of the spring bath. Someone's just like doing their meditation thing. You will have the wildest sex you've ever had in your life in the libido bath. That being said, you will be addicted to it. You will not be able to come back. And basically, your life is forfeit. You also might be clowned. So there's that. Access to the amniotic thermal springs are included in your entry pass to the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. So visitors should be aware that lockers and all that stuff are reservations. Private bath reservations are available for additional fees. In order to safely enjoy the baths, there are a few rules and regulations that we ask you to observe in order to protect and preserve the natural resource for future visitors. Nikteru? Thank you for the gift sub. Sorry I can't pronounce your name. Clown, yeah, no, some circus performers got melted into a mass, and they couldn't get them out. Please stow all personal belongings provided in the bathhouse, sure. Please enjoy the full contact benefits of the amniotic thermal springs by not wearing or bringing any outside fabric materials into the baths. The fluid ballast of the flesh pit is a delicate anatomical system which can become easily agitated with synthetic clothing, dyes, and plastics. Surgical grade hard hand towels are available. So you have to use their special towels or you fuck up the thing. That's cute. I was gonna say, like, just bring your own towel if you plan on going. Please utilize the provided showers before and after the bath to prevent contamination of the baths and trail infrastructure within the Mystery Flesh Pit. Sorry, that was an alarm going off. Then I just got a text. Okay. And then the wife says she's going to be late coming home. Please do not disturb any structural, electrical, or mechanical infrastructure around the baths. Bathers must be 18 or age 18 are welcome. Under the age of 18 are welcome with an adult guardian to the main bath. Visitors to all the other baths must be 18 or older because there's some wild fucking sex going on. Yeah, how do they deal with the cum? Like, there's going to be a lot of cum. Please do not claim or reserve lounge chairs. If you encounter any wildlife within the springs, please alert a park ranger to one of the emergency blue telephones located throughout the springs. Please do not approach or antagonize any park wildlife. Please remain quiet, courteous, and respectful to further bathers by limiting displays of affection while within the main bath. For special information regarding the libido bath, please see the conduct and consent pamphlet available within the bathhouse lobby, or Texas would not allow the libido bath. Just text the wife that I saw her message, basically. Easy swimming. Fact remains that the Mystery Flesh Pit is an ancient and an enormous superorganism of indeterminate origin. Visitors can rest easy knowing that every effort has been made to make the amniotic thermal springs a safe and secure natural. The ballast acts as a spermicide. Did you read that somewhere, or are we just assuming things? Because they might just be like, just coming all over the fucking place. Yeah, honestly, the fact that there's a libido bath, like, I get it. Like, you get someplace like California, or like, I don't know, someplace that's like, you know, legalized weed. I could totally see them be like, yeah, libido bath, fuck it. You know, a little more liberal state. But, not Texas. Texas is as conservative as it comes. Like, we're not going to allow you to have a libido bath. Kidding me? Sex fluids? Oh, the author stated, so it actually does have spermicide in it. I mean, like, in Texas, it's illegal to have dildos. I'm pretty sure. You can only buy novelty use ones that you're not actually supposed to use. So like, there's big money in like just dildos, for example, but like you can't buy them. Not, you know, not real ones. You can buy novelty gag gifts. I mean, it's still dick shaped and made out of silicone rubber. It's private property. Listen, swear to God, if you have a rubber dick, you're in trouble. But if you got a gun, that's your fucking right, dude. That's your fucking right as an American to have a gun. That is your God-given right to have a gun, but if you make that thing into a dildo, you absolutely I swear, Rev, is Texas real? Unfortunately, yeah. But anyway, the mechanical structures you see pressed into the fleshy walls of the bath are called geodesic retaining frames and are used as an integral part of how the park engineers create a spacious and accessible thermal baths. Networks of reinforced trails, much like those found in the other areas of the park, provide well-lit and even walkable surfaces. On the unlikely event that one of these structures becomes compromised... Jesus, my phone is just going off constantly. I'm so sorry, y'all. That was the alarm to let me know that I need to feed the cats, but I did that beforehand. Visitors are instructed to immediately use one of the nearby blue phones to alert the park staff. So if it starts breaking, you need to call someone. Though it is commonly called the amniotic fluid, the semi-opaque, slippery, luminescent liquid produced within the organic thermal springs has little in common with the fluid produced by pregnant mammals. The park geologist uses the term ballast, as it is theorized that the fluid produced by the mystery flesh pit as a way to regulate the endocrine system of the superorganism. Since its discovery, the amniotic spring fluid has been highly sought after as a resource and tightly regulated by the National Park Service. Its unique chemical properties of liquid have been shown in clinical science to mildly reverse cell degradation due to factors such as cancer or aging. They actually figured out something really cool recently with radio waves and cancer. They were able to reduce the size of some stuff with that. Some cancer with radio waves, which is rad. I think it was radio waves. It's not radiation, anyway. I didn't read the article, I'll be real. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark cum deterrent, I guess. But it's good news, you know? One more step towards cancer-free world, you know? Cancer's a complex subject, because it's not just one thing. Bathers describe a gentle, euphoric sensation when soaking in higher potency springs, with the effects of concentrated exposure being well documented by several best-selling short films, many of which are available for purchase by requesting the Upper Visitor Center gift shop. Beyond the physical sensations, visitors often claim they developed deep emotional bonds with those they interact with while using it. While inside the thermal springs, the amniotic spring fluid is safe to eat and drink, and has enjoyed limited exposure as additives to a variety of popular consumer foodstuffs, including the seasonally available Coca-Cola Heartthrob, Feel Good McFlurry, and even the ballast-based Cordial liqueur. Okay. Horny juice. Here's a Q&A. Is it possible the entry orifice is just one of the ones that the mystery flesh pit possesses? If not, where were the other ones also used by Anodyne for resource exploitation? Well, so this is from the Q&A number 4, obviously. Horny McFlurry. Yeah, if you want to get a boner while you're driving around with a McFlurry, you can do that. An additional 14 orifices were eventually discovered, bringing the total number to 15. These 14 additional orifices, along with... See, I was just thinking that we were going in the mouth of this thing or something, but, like, there's multiple mouths or other holes? 15 is more holes than I would expect. I'll be honest with you. Along with the main entry orifice, which are loosely arranged in a circle around the true center of the Permian Basin superorganism, which contains no orifice of any kind. Unlike an extensively dilated and excavated main orifice, these 14 additional ones are much smaller and harder to locate. Each of these smaller orifices have been appropriately capped to prevent ingress by the Bureau of Land Management, though at least 2 orifices were utilized by Anodyne for limited logistics and resource extraction purposes. During the early 2000s, ambitious plans were drawn up to eventually develop 1 or more of these additional orifices into a second gate for tourism, but the 2007 tragedy curtailed such plans. Today, these formerly Anodyne maintained orifice facilities are operated by the Permian Basin Superorganism Containment Corporation in service to their containment and research operations. Did the roadless rally go into the pit itself? The roadless rally off-road racing took place entirely within the pit. Specifically within the large cavity created by damming the Lesser Gastric Sea, which was constructed by Fred J. Onnock Gastric Dam. This large cavity was initially created to house a temporary worker village during the early development of the park's facilities. Once these temporary housing and fabrication facilities were no longer needed, the area was leased to the Rally Racing League for experimental new form of off-road rally. Lacerna 8, thank you for the 2 years or 2 months of support. Sounds like you're reading an SCP wiki. It kind of is, yeah. Kind of is. It kind of is like its own thing outside of SCP. It's like, what if we just let everyone know about an SCP? It was big, you know? The existence of a larger mining rigs and commercial construction like the Intrepid Thermal Wellness Resort far from the main national park orifice is a hint that a commercial operation on a scale that is almost overshadows the park complex. What kind of support and logistics infrastructure exists for these large-scale heavy industries and construction projects? I've like so much I'm gonna try and go one stream without saying the W word, the W word of the game I like to play. I'm just gonna keep reading this, but I have a lot to say. Well, Ectodyne was chosen as a paralyzing agent for the superorganism instead of a more standard anesthetic. Wait, do we even read this? Despite the 2 other orifices in the answer above, almost all of the Anodyne equipment and infrastructure depended heavily on the use of the main entry orifice. Large equipment such as the mining rigs were constructed in sight by the lowering large pieces of vehicle down the main articulated elevator gantry, which then eventually did collapse. If you remember. As the scale of these vehicles suggests, it is correct to assume that the commercial extraction operations were far larger scale than that of the national park. Today, the full extent of these extraction activities is unknown, with many records presumed to be lost during the liquidation of the company's assets following its 2008 bankruptcy. Yes, that thing. That game. Someone said temporary orc village because I misspoke. And I was like, yes, that game. I love it. It's a bad time for me to be playing right now, it turns out. Why was Actidine chosen as a paralyzing agent for the superorganism instead of a more standard anesthetic? Anodyne Chemicals was already a contracted supplier of specialty use poisons for the Department of the Interior, and it had prior capability to produce actinium at scale. And sure, it was at least economically disadvantageous of the chemical candidates that was considered. Sorry if I just missed it on the anatomy charts, but does it have a brain? Do you think it's conscious? The PBS contains what geobiologists term a distributed hierarchical nervous system. Chart below offers a cursory introduction of how the sort of neural arrangement functions. Surrounding the center of the superorganism is a vast ring of neural tissue resembling the organic, because it has brain bits, right? We've seen that. They made computers out of them, right? Or at least the nerves, right? This management system is further divided into hundreds of super ganglia managed by each pentalobe, widely categorized as alpha, beta, and gamma variants. Alpha ganglia manage thousands of local nerves clusters responsible for executive functions such as motor control, digestive management, lymph production, and vascular management, as well as dozens of other functions. The gamma is almost a reverse counterpart of the alpha. Gamma managed many of the thousands of nerves and receptor throughout the pit, translating this enormous amount of information for usable data for the central PBS or pentalobal nervous system, unique to the beta ganglia clusters, which seem to fill in a sort of local memory function which has no direct analog to the mainstream biology. These beta ganglia clusters exhibit phenomenal storage capabilities for a stimulated response memory, which were harvested for their biotechnical applications before the 2007 tragedy. Hello? Sorry, I thought I heard someone. I was like, wait a minute, my wife isn't coming home for another, hour. But I think it was just the cats moving around. I didn't see anyone. I'll be real, I can't read this. Oh, I don't have a judge. I got a real basic one. I hope this isn't a knife moment. I mean, you saw when I stood up, I was going for it. I was like, I don't want to run the corner with a knife out, just in case if it's the repair guy or my wife or something, you know? But I think it was just the cats. I'll be real, I can't make heads or tails of this. Is there a way we could maybe cut the ability for it to sense things? Or maybe its ability to move? I mean, it'd be super fucked up, but I mean, that seems like a way of dealing with this thing. If it just can't move, then fuck this thing, right? If it can just chill and live, but basically be catatonic, lobotomize it. Yeah, that's my strategy. My strategy here is to lobotomize this thing. Do we have any idea what the full body of the PBS looks like, or have scientists only observed the part that lies directly beneath the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park? Broadly speaking, yes. I've reached a general understanding that the PBS exhibits basic pentadactyl symmetry. This should be not taken to mean that the Mystery Flesh Pit is just a 15-legged starfish. Okay. Right, okay, so there are 15 orifices, and they're all going out from a central area, and the one they found was just one of them. So, it's not a 15-legged starfish. While it is symmetrical in plan, its vertical composition is far well less understood, and still remains a matter of staunch controversy. So basically, it's At least the top of it is kind of like starfish shaped. The 2007 disaster report stated that several wounded visitors walked back into the maw of the pit. Was there any follow-up on why they might have done this? Each individual's reasons for returning to the pit will always only be known to them, but it's been widely understood that a decade plus since many of these individuals attempted to return to the orifice out of the sense of obligation to help loved ones who still remained within the park. Since its publication, the official 2007 report has been criticized for its over-reliance on technical explanation in contrast to the more subjective, common-sense folk wisdom regards to certain elements of the inexplicable return of these individuals into the entry orifice following the disaster. What? What? Did the term vitriology originate from studies around the pit, or did it exist beforehand? It evolved entirely within the shadow of the mystery flesh pit's discovery, loosely meaning the study of which is under or below. Is James Jackson still alive? What is he doing nowadays? That's a good question. James Jackson tragically died in the winter of 2006 at the age of 58 with a collision with a drunk driver. Though he was never married, he's survived by no living relatives. The philanthropic and activist-driven nonprofit he began, the Jackson Foundation, still continues its mission to this day. I'm going with less psychic powers to bring stuff in or people in, and I'm thinking like maybe I think it also could be like some sort of like chemical reaction, like the people who went to the amniotic fluids like got mind controlled by it or something. Yeah, I guess that is like psychic or, you know, mind control or whatever. But like just sort of like more like what are those the mushrooms that grow on ants? Mycoloids or whatever? Maybe like that kind of situation. It's like a chemical response, though, instead of like a direct electrical response or something. I don't really actually know how those mushrooms work. Has anything resembling optic nerves or related organs been discovered within the pit? Yes. Horrifying. The Project Touchstone expedition, which is aimed to plot horizontal navigatable course. So the fact... Okay, hold up now. Hold up. So, the top view of this thing is... I mean, it's not exactly this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... 14. And then we'll throw an extra leg in like here or something. I don't know, whatever. So this is a top view. But like the top view of this, so they went in one of these. Like majority of this story takes place in one of these. But that was going down for miles this away. Right? Like if this is a side view and this is a top down view. So whatever is at the center of this thing, dear God, it's even bigger? I have no idea. I mean, it's not totally shaped like this, but it's, you know, I hate that. Touchstone expedition aimed to plot a horizontal navigatable course from the main entry to an extremity of the superorganism. Discovered the organ at the furthest extremity of their route was determined to be analogous to a... Did you know that starfish have eyes at the end of their feet? No, I didn't. Why? This is like if Action Park was also an oil refinery. Yes. It was determined to be analogous to the optical sensory organ or eye. This eye determined to be one of many thousands along a band. of the upper mantle, which measured to be approximately 1.2 kilometers in diameter. Multiple optic nerves, connections, and retinal region. So my idea of lobotomizing this thing is not going to work. It's just allergies. I went outside because I wanted to skateboard, but like, people were screwing around at the park where I like to skate, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have to deal with them because I'm sure they're going to be like, you're not allowed to skateboard here at this basketball court, even though no one comes here. I love that your name is someone in chat said. It's great. I have a skateboard, yeah. Let me show you my skateboard. Hold up. Wow. 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 Let's try not spoil this week's painting. There it is on the floor. It's a zero board with reds as the things. It's good. It's a good board. It's a good board. I've been enjoying it. Can you do cool skateboard tricks? I can do cool skateboard tricks like not falling off for extended periods of time. That's one I can do. Looked up clam eyes, and they are creepy but beautiful. Clam eyes. Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, I'm not a fan, actually. That's super fucking weird. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like that. Okay, so this eye, determined to be one of many of thousands along a band of superorganisms' upper mantle, was measured at approximately 1.2 kilometers in diameter. The multiple optic nerves. So you... Have you heard of the monument mythos? I wanted to get started on it, but I need to finish this first. There was another one I saw too that looked really good, but I want to make sure that we get through all this first, and then we'll do that. Highly evolved lens configuration comprising of 24 discrete lenses and filter elements. This large eye organ, as well as thousands of other identical organs, appear to be generally retracted into the inner carapace lining, which separates these organs from the direct rock face of the surrounding geological strata. Was the longest amount of time that someone has ever spent within the pit and successfully been recovered alive, not counting the formerly amalgamated people. We know that miners spend months at a time in the pit, but outside of that, has anyone ever been lost and presumed deceased, but then shown up again later? The longest known instance that I was able to find of an individual surviving the pit involved one of the original 38 members who returned to the entry orifice immediately following the 2007 disaster. The individual, whose name has not been made public, was a 41-year-old male who was originally signed with Trauma Group A. While his information is not verified by either the NPS or DOI, Department of Interior. I actually don't know what NPS is. It's probably fake. I've read the 2007 report, yes. Lucurcia 8. I cannot pronounce your name, but thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Holy shit. It's a lot. If you just got one, make sure you thank them. Dude, everyone's just wild in recently. Like, coming in here and just, like, throwing nice times at me. Man, it feels good. National Park Service. That makes sense. Yeah, if you just got one, make sure you thank them. Also, here, let me throw out a exclamation point Discord. It usually takes a minute for it to populate on your Discord, but you can join us in the Discord and tell me to play video games and stuff. Hang out with the nerds that go there. And sometimes I pop in and I say some stupid shit and then I leave for a bit. There's that if you want to. I have strong reason to believe that this missing individual, Seikyo Akamuchi, thank you for the 15 months of support. It's very cool of you. Thank you so much. Strong reason to believe the missing individual was recovered in 2019 by the PBRCC teams within the pit. The individual, originally presumed dead, was discovered by a surveying team. The man was naked and had sustained tremendous amount of physical and genetic abuse, wildly screaming at the sight of the surveyor's work lights. The individual, in a frenzied and panicked state, latched onto the metal frame of a work vehicle with such force that his arms and legs became severely bruised with the risk of internal bleeding. After being brought to the service, still maintaining a death grip on the vehicle, the man was placed under intensive medical care to repair the injuries and deformities he had sustained within the 12 years within the pit. Fuck that. Lacuna. I'm absolutely going to forget how to pronounce that, but thank you for the 100 bits. Lacuna. Lacune? Lacune? Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I don't know if me reading this has proved it, but I'm profoundly dyslexic and cannot read words. I haven't seen that word before. Is it a name or is that like a thing? Mispronouncing names is a sub benefit. Yes, well, I continue to go with that because otherwise we're in trouble. The individual presumed dead, right? After the being Hiru, thank you for the sub, my dude. That's very cool of you. I definitely did not pronounce your name right. I feel like people are just throwing subs out now to see like how can he fuck up my name? And that is a name I can fuck up. Not Nycteru. Nycteru. Nycteru is the pronunciation. Good job, me. I got it. That's exactly what I said. It's a plural version of a literature term. Okay. That makes sense. That was Lacune. The individual in a frenzied and panicked state. Okay, right. Staying within 12 years within the pit. I do not know if he was given a robust regimen of physical and emotional therapy, but I do not know if he was rehabilitated to a degree that he would be willing to answer any of my emails regarding his time within the raw fleshscape. Only time will tell. My name came from the scientific name of a raccoon dog. A little easier to do. Was the Interpit Resort owned by any chain? Was it more rustic like a national park, outdoorsy, or more luxury? It was designed to offer the pinnacle of 1985 contemporary luxury. Oh, it's all wood paneling. Jesus Christ. You really want that 80s feel. And it's Hilton, too. What are some of the largest recorded or rumored amalgamations? Ventrilogists theorized that hundreds of years ago, a stampede of over 1,000 longhorned cattle were surreptitiously swallowed by one of the superorganism's orifices during either a migration or a cattle drive. Hundreds of years ago, okay. These thousands of cattle underwent simultaneous mass amalgamation, but were able to survive to the sheer scale of a resulting organism. By being able to consume itself, over time, the highly immobile mass of horned, writhing bovidity, okay. Over time, this developed into a cocoon of tissue grown by the superorganism believed to be related to some of the digestive purpose. Because of this now concentrated collection of horns, however, the persistent hole in this tissue sac survives to this day. This tear in the lining, combined with the still rhythmic suffering of the animal collective, is known in the park to visitors as the Peking Druid geobiological formation. Fucking hate every word. There's a typo in the FAQ under "Will there be a book?" You wrote "and book" instead of "a book." Boy, I really hope someone got fired for that blunder. The other day I saw someone saying that, like, it's a well-known, like, secret amongst YouTubers to, like, intentionally put misspellings and shit in either the title or whatever of a YouTube video, so that way people would comment on it and that drives engagement. I'll have you guys know, I don't do that. I'm just dumb and actually just get the numbers wrong on stuff. I just sort of copy-paste the last one and then forget to change the number. So if it's episode 10, I copy episode 9's title and then I change it, but then I forget to change it. But it's engagement right there. Have any basketball or sports teams ever celebrated their victory or even played in a special location within the Flesh Pit? To my knowledge, no professionally organized sporting events besides the aforementioned off-road rally took place within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. However, the victory celebrations of all time are common. The results and facilities found within the park were of all world-class caliber, all while a difficult to sell at first blush, were famously exalted by guests who had stayed within the Interpit Resort. Has anything been noted in regards to the children conceived in the pleasure? I mean, there's part of that with me, Governor, but I was diagnosed with dyslexia a couple times. It's not like a online test or something that I took, like actual psychologist. And it explains a great deal about my life, but I still enjoy books. I do. Mostly audiobooks though, which is why I listen to creepypasta from channels like Lighthouse Horror and Mr. Creepypasta and Dr. Creepin, I think is his name. Or is it Mr. Creepin? He's okay. His stories have gotten a little bit more action-y. I think Mr. Creepypasta is still doing the best out of all of them, but just for a change up in story type. Mr. Creepypasta also likes to throw some like weird jokey ones in there every now and then, and they're fun to listen to as well. So if you like Creepypasta, I recommend those channels, which is like not a thing I guess I should be doing while I'm reading a Creepypasta, because they're just driving traffic away from me. Do you know of Dark Solomon? I believe I do. I think I've heard of them. Here's the spermicide thing. It's a common misconception that due to the nature of the amniotic thermal springs and their effects, there must be a surplus of children conceived within the Mystery Flesh Pit. On the contrary, spermicidal effects of the ballast were notorious, if undermarketed, reason for the thermal springs' lucrative operation. Okay. The Interior Service Guides mentions people being allowed to hunt and fish within the pit if granted a license. We are aware of some of the main types of terrestrial fauna within the pit, but what sort of creatures could be fished? You know, the normal stuff. That picture isn't helpful. I hate it. What is that? No. All right, real quick, I'm gonna just like click through to see how far we are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16. All right, 16 more. James Bernard Jackson. Too large. What the hell is this? When you all sought my expertise in the VIP lounge, I expressed my concerns plainly, but otherwise supportive. Against my suggestion, you had an architect draft the larger plan that I gave you, and I gave you some appropriate pushback. I was of the understanding that the prior agreements about the scale of your small lodge were final, or at least would be included to any challenges within this enterprise. So, gentlemen, imagine my surprise when I found out earlier that today you greenlit the construction of a 210-room resort. This decision is wholly opposed to every conservation effort that the company has agreed to. I'm amazed that the Park Service is allowing this, since you seem bent on going out of business regardless of my advice. I have no reason to remain on this board, so consider this my formal resignation. James Jackson. Oh, wait. James Jackson, like, bounced? Wait, the cowboy? Damn. This video captures a live emergency alert system broadcast from August of 2018. For Texas residents of the eastern Permian Basin, these kinds of alerts and alarms were somewhat common, though the tremors and ejecta of smaller events are quite minimal when compared to the 2007 event. They are still a point of danger and are taken seriously by those who live and work around the PBS. How close am I to the pit? It's pretty far. It's in, if I remember correctly, it's like almost to like, it's probably, I don't know. I think we figured out it would be like a 3 or 4 hour drive, something like that. Texas is big. Anyway, let me go and pause the meat sounds so we can listen to this sound. So this is the actual sound effects that when we have like a weather alert that they play.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Texas Department of Public Safety, the United States Geological Survey.
And also use a voice like this.
Recovery Corporation. The United States Geological Survey has issued a geobiological activity advisory for the following counties: Cook County, Gumption County, Howard County, Midland County, Sterling County, and 2:18 a.m. Central Daylight Time at 10:48 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Seismic EKG monitoring stations detected muscle contractions originating from the northeastern limb of the Permian Basin superorganism. This event is expected to cause moderate to severe damage to property, utility services, and infrastructure. Residents are advised to seek shelter immediately. If you do not have access to an emergency extra batteries and battery-powered radio. During this event, you may experience headaches, nausea, fever, hallucinations, dizziness, mild seizures, temporary changes in vision, reduced or enhanced cognitive ability, limited precognition, memory loss, and muscle cramps. These effects are temporary and will stop once the event has concluded. Do not exit your shelter until help is needed. Do not use telephones or cell phones except in the case of emergencies. Stay tuned to local news media outlets for continuing information on the situation.
Awful. Yeah, those sound effects are, like the way they actually put that, like that, the graphics were a little bit nicer than what I would expect. But that's basically what it looked like. Oh, though that being said, I haven't seen like a news like broadcast like that in years. I don't have TV service, so they don't come on anymore. But they basically sound like that. Like if you're having a tornado in the area, they'll tell you like there's a tornado in Travis County or whatever, and you're like, oh fuck. Actually, interesting story. My mom was coming back from the Dallas Fort Worth area, which they've mentioned in this. She was coming back because I've got some family up there, and there was actually a tornado in that region fairly recently, and I just wanted to like, you know, I don't know, doom and gloom and all that shit, but I wanted to have a nice story for you guys to hear. So my mom's looking at the clouds as she's driving. She's like, that doesn't look right. She's lived in the Texas area for like pretty much her whole life, as far as I'm aware. And she's talking about how she looks at the clouds and she's like, that looks like tornado weather. So she tries to pull off to the side of the road. She's getting like hail the size of like baseballs, like the size of my fist, right? And she's trying to find a place to pull off. Looking at different, ends up going down some country road, sees like a metal like shelter or whatever that she could go in, and opts to not do that because it's like some person's garage, and she ends up having to stop and pull over into some subdivision. There's so she just pulls into someone's like garage, and the person in the house runs out, and she's like, oh no, this person's gonna like yell at me to leave. And they're like, there's a tornado right behind you. You need to get in the house right now. And so random, like literally my mom just showed up at some random person's house, right? Some random strangers let my mom into their house, not knowing if she was an axe murderer or anything, and made sure that she was able to get to the centralmost area of the house with no windows, where, you know, glass and all that wouldn't hurt her. And she's fine, you know? The tornado fortunately just like missed where they were at the time, like curved right at the last minute. But so they were fine, and the neighborhood was fine and all that. But like, just random shout out to people I don't know, who don't know me, probably will never see this video. Thank you for taking care of my mom. I love you. I love my mom, you know? And so that someone actually did that. I don't know. It's a lot easier to be like, oh, the world sucks, blah, blah, blah. But like, there's some nice people left in this world, man. Thank you for the 100 bits. Lacune? Am I getting that right? Check out The Sun Vanished. It's not part of this, right? Is it part of the other things? Yeah, so my mom ended up sending, I think, a plant, and my aunt ended up sending like a pecan pie because, you know, Texas. And it's good. I'm gonna be real with you. We're not gonna read all this. But it looks like these wheels, so they're like screws, so they can extend outwards in order to get like good purchase on stuff and have good angles and stuff. Internet found footage. Does sound good. You gave me actually 200 bits there, I think. Did I miss another one? Check out The Sun Vanished. An arc. Oh, is this going to be another fairly long thing? Wait a minute. I think I know this one. Is this the one with the... Fuck, what is this one? They have a house in the middle of nowhere? Is it this one? Sort of ended, but I think it's still going. They have the weird, creepy house in the middle of nowhere that it's like there's something going on in the woods. Someone made this, the Anodyne MMP3 in Barotrauma. This does look like a Barotrauma thing. Like, God, they did so... I mean, like, this is really hardcore, the amount of work that went into this. Pamphlet would have been handed out to investors at the large shareholder conventions held annually at the Anodyne Corporation as a way to bolster market confidence with the introduction of a then brand new mining technology. The MMP3 was most commonly referred to as the mining rigs, were pivotal in the resource exploitation of the mystery flesh pit. The massive machines represent the pinnacle of the venereal technology and wrought untold havoc upon all manners of interpit ecosystem, sporting a price tag of 30 million USD. To construct on-site, of course, they couldn't fit it all within an elevator. Only 7 of these massive vehicles were ever built, one of them famously destroyed in the 2007 disaster as it attempted to provide /escort/rescue the trapped caravan of the tour vehicles. Today, it is suspected that there's at least 1 or 2 of these machines still around, though their exact whereabouts are unknown. ARGs might be harder to... God, I guess we could do ARGs. I think ARGs would be fun to do in this format. I haven't done too many ARGs. I've made an ARG, which no one solved, but, you know, I talk about it every time I talk about ARGs. Lore Visitor Center. Gateway into the Deep. Your adventure, if there's one that, like, specifically one that's, like, fairly new and no one's, like, talking about, like, hit me up. Along these lines, this like, high-quality analog horror. Like, I feel like I almost have to watch... Was it the Walton Files with y'all? It sucks. Like, I'm not a fan. I don't know. Gemini Home Entertainment's pretty good. Yeah, that one's good. Did you watch Boysivert's channel? I haven't heard of that, so I don't think so. Gemini Home Entertainment's really solid, dude. Less Joe's in the garage. Yeah, that tweet was fucking incredible, man. Walton Files are like the worst offenders of the Joe's in the garage thing. Genic Archive looks really solid too. I want to do that one. I think Monument Valley. Maybe we should do like a poll and see what's next. But Monument. Fuck, what is it called? The Monument Mythos. I want to do that one. I want to do Hypnagogic. I want to do. Those are the main ones I want to do. I think I could skip Walton because there's enough content that we could skip Walton and be fine. There'll be other things to do. Walton was just like, it read like FNAF fanfics. Gateway into the Deep, an adventure into the wonder and magnificence of the Mastery Flesh Pit National Park. Speaking of content...
Now.
This is Mike, a clip from him.
Doing it on purpose. They're saying I'm doing it on purpose, they're saying. Okay. Sure I am. Because I want this to continue till 3 a.m. when I explain to you I'm fucking shot and I need to go to bed because I got a big day tomorrow. Let me prolong this fucking boss fight that feels like my balls are being picked up.
Yeah, alright. Walton Files is a Slipknot of analog horror. Oh my god. Dude. No, I don't know if that's a bigger burn to Slipknot or Walton Files. The adventure into the the wonder of magnificence of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park begins as you enclose in the gondola. No, dude. Begins to descend down into the darkness, away from the blistering heat and light of the Permian Basin. And just when the 20-minute turning ride down into the maw of the immense organism feels like it may never end. Did we ever read this one? I feel like we did. The illuminated structure comes into view beneath your feet. Step out of the elevator car into the well-lit, comfortable lobby of the Lore Visitor Center, and your gateway into an unforgettable visit into one of the world's most natural... I feel like we read this one, and maybe the first go of this. I'm going to do a quick check on that situation. It's pretty early on, but I recognize some of these other ones, so maybe not. The Architectural Gym. If I've already read this, I apologize. If you're watching it on After Hours, just skip a bit. When's the urban exploration stream? When I want to get murdered. When I'm just feeling suicide. You've heard suicide by cop. How about suicide by chat? I'll just go to some place and then someone shows up with a gun and kills me. Like, nah, I'm good. The Mystery Flesh Pit National Park's Lower Visitor Center is a marvel of structural engineering that took workers over 80 years to construct. I don't know if we have abandoned hospitals down here. We still have some of the state schools up, but I don't think we have any of the asylums. I don't know if we had any. Like Reagan reducing funding on mental health services when he was in office, really did some numbers on Texas. So, composed of a acid-resistant glass and surgical-grade structural steel, the new facility would act as a central hub for all activities within the vast anatomy of the flesh pit, allowing park administrators to quickly and efficiently dispatch rangers and manage operations. Today, the Lower Visitor Center serves as a key role in the guest satisfaction as well, with the comfortable and secure architecture of building bringing down even the most fearful guests back again and again. It's kind of hard to read some of this. I think we started reading this and we stopped, or it's using the same vernacular. Can we zoom in on this? Ah, there we go. So we got the control room, we got the gift shop, got the maintenance walkway. The interfaith chat. Wait. Oh, it's there. Okay. It's where? Picnic tables, relaxed garden. So this whole thing comes down, or this just comes down? Ascending gondola. This thing. You have to sit 20 minutes in that little elevator. Dude, I've never wanted to be in an elevator for more than 2 seconds. You want me to get in an elevator into a flesh pit for 20? 20 minutes. Is that you can see the Burger King dead center. Yeah, there's a Burger King, Trader Vic's, and a Baskin Robbins. There's not enough bathrooms, man. There's one here. Dude, if you're here, where the fuck do you poop? How do you poop? Unrealistic. Did not mention 9/11 and doesn't have a toilet. Whereas it appears that, oh my God, so you can actually see the extent of it. And it's like, God damn. I've never heard of Trader Vic's, but it's a thing apparently. I learned about it through this. Whereas it appears the public interest would be promoted by reserving this natural wonder as a national park, together with as much land as may be needed for its protection, not only for the known excavated entrance, but as such other entrances may be found. Now, therefore, I, James Carter Jr., the President of the United States, by the authority of the power invested in me by Section 2 of the Congress Act and Act for the Preservation of American Antiquities, approved June 8th, 1986, do proclaim that there is hereby reserved from all forms of natural appropriation under public land laws, subject to all valid existing claims, and set apart the national park to be known as a mystery flesh pit, all that piece and parcel of land in the County of Gumption, State, Texas, County of Gumption, State of Texas, shown upon the diagram hereto annexed and made into part of and particularly described as follows: lots 1 and 2, sections 31, block 7C. Mike's neurotic obsession with adding a bathroom in every house while playing Happy Home Paradise has seeped out of me. It's good. Dollar Tree Trader Joe's, maybe? They didn't mention the planes hitting the towers on 9/11. Yeah, you're right. Shit universe. Honestly, they just don't even mention it. I hate that. Like, imagine, like, not being able to nitpick anything, so you just make some crap up. You know? Like, I have no interest in watching Turning Red, really. Like, it looks cute, but I'm just so tired of Pixar movies. So tired of it. I just don't want to see any Disney crap either. I'm just tired of children's animated films. So I hate children. Just hate children. Warning is hereby. It's just like, I don't know, man. I just don't want to. And it looks fine. It looks fine, but I'm just so tired of the like I think the last one that we watched together was Mitchell's versus the Robots or something like that. I think the average age of my my chat is higher than children. I don't think it's a Pixar film. Vinny and Yoel apparently have 10 years watching them. I'm aware of that. Yeah, I went to a TMG once, and there's a kid that wanted to get something signed by Vinny, and he was like there with his mom or something, super small. I remember someone's dad came up and talked to me while I was getting some water, and he was like, you know, I'm just here, and I don't know what this is, but I'd rather be involved in this, in what my kid likes. He's just telling me this. I don't know why he's telling me this. I don't know who this man is. I'm like, all right. Okay. But honestly, that's like solid dad energy. Like, take care of your kid. If your kid's into like some weird YouTuber, like, check into it. Like, be on top of this. So I would really not like it if kids were like into the stuff I do, but then like they watched it and then they I don't know. My content is not kid friendly. I'm actually checking right now, which is why the screen went blank. Checking analytics on audience. All right, cool. So let's see. Top geographies for the highlights channel: 50% USA, 59% subscribed. It's good. 84% male, 2% user specified, with 50% between the ages of 18 and 24, and 40% between 25 and 34. So apparently, that is my demographic. Shout out to the 0.6% of senior citizens that watch my channel. How do I get into your Discord? Yeah, use that link that Mubot posted, and how many Germans? I closed out of it. But that's from the highlight channel. I don't know how accurate that is. Obviously, someone could just like throw in that they're like 100 years old, just that way they could get around any YouTube restrictions, and just like, yeah, just scroll down until like, I think I lied to Steam and told them that I'm like 100 or something, because I just like didn't give a shit. I'm like, I'm 21 or something when I made the account. I'm like, whatever, dude. Just let me see the titties. Let me see the gore. I don't care, man. Anyway, warning is hereby expressly given to all unauthorized personnel to not appropriate, injure, destroy, or remove any feature of this park that is not to locate or settle upon any of the lands. Therefore, Director of the National Park Services Interior shall have supervision and management under the control of this park. Oh, this is a lot of legal speak, just saying yes. Have you had any plans on playing the Library of Runia? A lot of people have been asking me about that one, and it's the same universe as not SCP, that like not SCP game that people love. I could not for the life of me get into that, but that one's Library of Runia is a card game, right? A lot of Lobotomy Corp enjoyers in chat. I could go back to it, but I had a lot of problems with Lobotomy Corp. Mainly, I had no idea what the fuck was happening or how to do it. Lore is less CBT than Lobotomy Corp. Yeah, I just kind of lost sometimes. If you're having trouble joining the Discord, sometimes it takes a bit for Discord to update that you've got the sub. So try again in a little bit. I've heard it take as long as like a couple hours, but it shouldn't be that long on average. Just make sure you're following all the instructions just right. Photos of the April annexation, which brought the Mystery Flesh Pit into the National Park System. President Carter, near the end of his presidency, met with the DOI and anodyne personnel at the entry site of the officially signed the proclamation. Below, an aerial photo of the pit surrounding site captures the scale of the work that took place between 1978 and 1981 to develop and further improve the park's interior infrastructure. If Library of Runia is in the Lobotomy Corp universe, but it isn't that kind of game, got banned from the Discord for not linking your Twitch ID. It's a security thing to prevent. There's been people that have caused problems in the past in the Discord, and to make it safer for people, which obviously I can't ensure completely, just by having the Twitch integration thing, just generally makes it safer for everyone. You have to either link the RevCord or your Twitch or your Patreon in order to get in, because I have the Patreon thing. Sorry about that. That's just unfortunately the way it has to be, because some people are assholes. And that was automated by the system. A dark and constantly shifting interior of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park has been a formidable challenge to navigation since its discovery. Tethered explorations early in the history of the park mitigated this problem, but a more comprehensive surveys eventually required a novel solution. By using a standard magnetic compass and a combination of a barometer, a directional bearing relative depth within the organism can be obtained. Of course, these two items of information are alone insufficient and require a small assortment of other physical and chemical orientation solutions to effectively navigate within the superorganism. Still, devices similar to the anodyne produced unit photographed here have been and continue to be invaluable basic tools for park rangers, engineers, and technicians who need to know where they are within the park. It was probably just a kick rather than a ban. Kind of scrolled through these earlier when we were looking at this in the beginning, but some of the many NPS contractor staff that you might encounter during a visit to the Mystery Flesh Pit. Thought I'd upload clean versions of the designs since they're a little lost in the small kiosk photo. Also curious if the formatting of the art style like this increases the amount of reach it has. I have a suspicion that it might. That's it's a Tumblr thing. Will anyone actually see this? God, I just hate how big this thing is. God, it's massive, dude. This profile survey is one of the examples of the produced an early development to the mystery flesh pit. The new New Jackson survey conducted by surveyor James Slippin' Jim Jackson combined many prior smaller surveys with the new biospeleological data obtained with Jackson's team. Notably, Jackson's surveying expedition marked the discovery of such features as the Fondue Village, the Kyome Bladder, and the Pleasure Domes. Missing from the early survey and deeper portions of the pit anatomy are the gift gardens, the copiopod barrows. I don't want to know what a fondue village is in a living organism. That's weird. Just showed up. Care to explain? This is a analog horror project that you can find on Mystery Flesh Pit singular nationalpark.com, and is a work of horror that someone's making. It's about a giant organism that lives under Texas. The chyme is what goes from your stomach into your small intestines. Okay, good to know. And the pleasure dome's missing. It doesn't have these, as these sections would remain inaccessible until the introduction of the Grumman IAV in 1978. The survey was printed in several national publications and was a primary piece of marketing information until the updated computer-aided survey was conducted in 1980. It's analog horror in that none of this is like a digital... Like, this is all just like things. You know? Maybe I don't have a great description of analog horror. Would you say it's documents and pictures of a thing? The design is incredibly well done. This all looks super legit, you know? Like, some of the really cringy aesthetic choices they choose for, like, the 90s and 80s, like, 100% on board with it. Like, they nailed the style. Like, it looks like this was taken from a different universe where this freak exists. Like, they did a really good job. The branding of Anodyne looks great. Disaster report text version. So we've already read this once. Yeah, we already read this last time. But turns out if you build a giant national park, or if you build like a thing, a hotel and a Burger King and stuff inside of a design like giant flesh pit, it turns out bad for people. Is emulating an analog media, so I think it's fair to call it analog horror. I mean, it's definitely horror, right? Because it's a mystery flesh pit national. I feel like I don't have to explain that one. The analog stuff is like the bit where I could see how there could be some contention on that description. Journey below. Okay, okay. And did this have a this doesn't have extra text. There's a lot of words here. Historic ritual grounds, which are somewhere in this area. Your encounter with the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park begins in the Permian Basin of West Texas. Beyond the familiar surroundings of rugged brush and broad plains is a gateway to another world, away from sunlight, away from safety, away from still ground. I added the safety one. It's more like found footage. Where's the line between found footage and analog horror? Or are you saying that analog horror is found footage? If I film a horror story on my Android phone, right? Is that analog horror? Like, no, right? So it's like a certain quality to it. Like, it's got to be like analog, like old school technology. Found footage that's retro. I think that's a good description of analog horror. It's got to be found. It doesn't have to be found footage, but it's got to be retro styled analog, not digital, preferably. Yeah. Like, it's got to be on a tape or on paper. Is this argument going to devolve into No, this is me trying to understand a term. So that way I can look for more stuff like this. It's why metalheads are so specific about their metal genres they like. They like to go, oh, okay, well, this is power metal. This is black metal. This is whatever, you know? So that way you can go, oh, I'm super into blah. And someone can go, have you heard of? You know, you're like, oh, I love power metal. I love Dragon Force. Oh, have you heard Beast in Black? Have you heard, Dream Evil? Have you heard, whatever? And you can be like, no, I haven't heard of those. I'd like to listen to them. You go and listen to them, and you're like, that's awesome. I love this kind of stuff. You know? Away from the sunlight, away from the still ground, away from the comforts. And so that's why I'm trying to find out the definition of analog horror. So that way I can try and find... Because I like this. I like this. I want more of this. I want more of Gemini home entertainment. I want to find more... not the Walton Files. I mean, that one's the same genre, I think. But yeah. Irrespective of the voyages deep into the soul of those who can venture within, the first tethered oil worker who entered the pit had no idea what to expect as they slid, crawled, and were swallowed down into the darkness. What about... So I've got Boisvert on here. I have no idea what that is. I literally just heard about it a few minutes ago. I wouldn't call this... Oh, you're saying fan fiction as a joke. Okay. Yes, it's fan fiction of a thing. Today, many wonders of the mystery flesh pit are well known, yet the experience of exploring its depths is every bit exciting. I would just realize, is IMAX a thing outside of Texas? SCP definitely fits my taste. Yes, I like SCP. That's why I think I should try Library of Runia. Because my main hang up with Lobotomy Corp is I didn't know how the fuck to play. No. Okay. IMAX. Hold up. For the handful of people who are not American. IMAX theaters are like regular movie theaters, but bigger. You know? Like massive screens. Okay, I don't know what this article's about, but whatever, fuck it. Like, this is a good picture. Just to get a scale of how big the screens are. I'm Dutch and we have IMAX. Okay. I don't think I've seen an IMAX film since the last time I went to the Bob Bullock. We have some in France. I really, really prefer Alamo. So much smaller screen, but it's... also, you have to go... Yeah, this is the best way to, like, watch movies, in my opinion. Smaller screen, but you got little tables. They come by. You've got, like, menus. You can order stuff. You can have, like, full food. So you, instead of, like, having dinner at a movie, you just have dinner at the movie. It's great. You can get shit faced while watching a movie. I haven't gone in a while, but you know, they had this alcoholic mint shake. It's like mint ice cream. What were you saying? I think I missed whatever that was context of. But yeah, this is these are great. Like if it weren't for the fact that COVID's a thing, I would be super fucking down with going there. Yeah, I haven't been to the movie theater since like 2019. There are 3 IMAX cameras left in existence. Holy shit. Spasm fits. Very on occasion, lucky park visitors. Lucky. That didn't age well. Why are you talking about drinking on 420? I'll be real. I haven't had any chemical stuff in me aside from caffeine or like Advil, I guess. Oh, I take sleep medicine. Okay, so I'm not straight edge at all, just saying. But it's 420 and I am not about that right now. That's not my life anymore. Same with booze. I just don't have the time for it. I'm really surprised I can't smell any weed right now. Like the neighbors are not quite wake and bake, but they're you know around, you know. I don't like being out of commission. So alcohol and drugs really don't do it for me. If I can't do things like today, I took a relaxing day. I didn't do much today. I'll be honest. I did the laundry. I did the dishes. I, worked on my painting here, which is coming along. It's a fucking banger. But, then I played some Warhammer because it's Wednesday and I like to play Warhammer on Wednesday. It's kind of had an easy day because the last couple of days I've been just kind of freaking out. I'm like, calm down, get this painting done, relax a bit, come into the stream with good energy. I feel like I'm doing that. But I really just don't have time to drink anymore. What's the painting of? It's from Elden Ring. Spoilers. I've been taking screenshots as we've been going, and I decided to paint one. So if you watch RevScarecrow Arcade, you can check it out. The pit entry. Okay, you can. Fascinating is the flesh pit itself. What scientists think is an immune response to continued dilation. The pit entry orifice begins to violently choke and spasm against retaining braces. This impressive treasure. The way that Fred from Scooby-Doo says treasure is how I just read impressive. Display of vigor. That has no context, right? I'm sorry. Hold up. I can't play that. With the way, look up Fred. Treasure. The treasure. I probably can't play that without like copyright claims out the wazoo. But look up how he pronounces treasure. I'm sure you can find that video on YouTube. It's the treasure. Treasure. Yeah, he says it like treasure. It's like, Fred, what do you want? Having said, if it's 420 and you're having a good time, try and pronounce treasure. Treasure. Do you like Quake 3? I have no strong opinions one way or another about Quake 3. I don't even remember it, really. I know it exists. I'm aware of Quake as a series. I've not played it, I think. I don't even remember which one that is, honestly. All the Quake games kind of blend together. It's an impressive display of vigor, which may last as long as 20 minutes. Often features otherworldly tectonic carnal moans from deep within the flesh pit, which can be heard from miles in all directions. You can... How did no one notice this thing? You can view the... I mean, like, I've known people who... here's your PSA on weed day. I've had friends that I kind of fell out of touch with because they basically had nothing going on in their lives aside from drugs. Like, they weren't bad people or anything. It's not like they died from it or anything. They just, like, didn't do anything. And just became, like, boring, useless people that, like, I don't want to hang out with because that's all they did with their lives. And kind of, like, stunted their growth as, like, humans because they didn't do anything, you know? It's like, I mean, if it makes you happy, dude, sure, but it's just not the life for me, you know? It's like their whole personality. Not necessarily even that it's their whole personality. It's just like the people I'm thinking of, like that's like how I play video games or I do art. They do drugs. You know what I mean? Like that's it. That's when they're home from work. When they have free time to themselves to do whatever they feel like, it's drugs or whatever. It's like they're still a functional person in society. They just have no aspirations at all. They're just boring, man. Just boring people. I want to do shit with my life. These choking fits usually occur following extensive engineering improvements within the pit. When I'm on vacation, though, I'll tell you, I drink more when I'm on vacation than I do in an entire year. Not that I'm binging, but just like I'm allowing myself to have that free time to drink beer or whatever. But like we don't stock alcohol in the house. I just don't have time for it. Neither does his wife. She doesn't really like it. But if like I don't have to go anywhere or do anything the next day, then fuck it. Check into the visitor center for engineering scheduled developments. Due to gastric ejecti in the pit's entry orifice, eye protection is recommended when directly viewing a spasm fit. For the obvious reasons, the Mystery Flesh Pit is unlike any other park within the National Park System. It is incomprehensibly vast, an ancient organism whose origin and purpose is unknown to modern science, a thing which inspires deep and primal and instinctual gut fear within the hearts of all men who gaze into it. Good job. I'm going to go ahead and real quick, let me just check for library of Runia. Oh, I've got it on my thing already. But it is like a card game. Yeah, according to Steam, I was born on January 1st, 1950. Just scroll down for a bit until I was old enough to look at things. All the text looks like it's in Korean still. There is a translation, right? We'll put that on a maybe. It is incomprehensibly vast, ancient organism whose origin and purpose is unknown to modern science. A thing that inspires deep and primal instinctual gut fear into the hearts of all men who gaze into it. Although the safe infrastructure installed within the pits are marvels to man, engineering aptitude and an attitude of extreme caution, vigilance, and respect are expected of all park visitors. This is near Lubbock. Forgot. To ensure their tour of the Mystery Flesh Pit is comfortable, enjoyable, and safe, please follow these important rules and recommendations. Wear closed-toe, non-skid boots for walking on natural trails, which can be steep and slippery. Use handrails. Drink plenty of water. It's known to leach moisture from humans. Pregnant women are not advised to explore, as smoking is permitted within all. That's the reason. Pregnant women are not allowed inside the mystery flesh pit because it's not safe because people smoke. That's the reason. It's not a horrifying abomination to nature. It's that, people smoke in there. If no one smoked in there, it'd be totally fine for pregnant women. Stay on the marked trails. Beyond the trails are steep and slippery drop-off where you could just fall and injure yourself, and you could get lost and become digested within the unreinforced organs. Encounters of macrobacteria, abyssal copiopods, and other been lethal for visitors who have strayed too far will fucking kill you. In an emergency, use the blue phones. Choose a variety of guided and unguided tours, depending on your time, interest, and constitution, and physical ability. Your first stop in any pit tour is the Lower Visitor Center, where park rangers can answer your questions about the flesh pit and where you may rent specialized gear and equipment. Park rangers also provide details about your special activities and tell you about your special ranger-led excursions. Jane Inferno, thank you for the 32 months of support. That's a very long time. What is that? Let's see. That's like just shy of, I think I say this to every time you do this. It's just shy of 3 years. It's a very long time. 2.5 years? That sounds right. Damn, son. Damn. Your first stop for any pit tour is the Lower Visitor Center, where the park rangers can answer your questions about the flesh pit, or you can rent specialty gear and equipment. Park rangers may also provide details about special activities, telling you about the special ranger-led excursions. The primal fear I'm feeling is perfectly comprehensible to me, so maybe you got a skill issue. What does it smell like? Probably like meat, man. The basic tour of the Mystery Flesh Pit Bowels of Earth route is a 7.85 mile self-guided. What is that in British? 7.85 miles, 2 kilometers is 12.63 kilometers. Self-guiding stroll through many of the large famous features such as Thor's Ribcage, Septum Falls, God's Mistake, and Oyster's Shame. Highly unusual, immense Bowels of the Earth route is a must-see for all visitors within the park. The gondola rides from the surface take you directly into the reinforced Lower Visitor Center. Relatively level, well-lit, completely enclosed trails make for an ideal tour for the visitors within the with walking difficulties or for those with small children. Guts and Giddy Up route is a self-guided tour that's 4.7 self-guided tour available to visitors with limited spelunking and or diving experience in good physical condition. 4.75 mile tour follows the original explorer's route, entering the sand gullet from the base of the Lower Visitor Center. This route descends 750 feet into the pit. This is about half, 12, so it's like 6 kilometers. Did they reopen the park after the accident? No. This is all stuff from before. The park remained closed afterwards, but it was used as like research. Basically, they had some people on staff to make sure the thing didn't wake up because they were like, holy shit, this thing coughed and we almost died. This route descends 750 feet into the pit, following slippery and narrow flesh tunnels through the large dorsal organ known as the trunk. The route circles back on the Lower Visitor Center near the unenclosed restrooms on the level 4. Highlights along the route include desiccated copiopod nests, a prehistoric whale carcass, the somber circus clown Climus, which again is just a bunch of dead circus clowns, the Fondue Village, a complex maze of wax-like secretions resembling dwelling-sized bone marrow. Great. Dead fused calcified clowns. Yes. Swallowed Hole Tour. This 2-hour ranger-guided Swallowed Hole Tour goes through several scenic, undeveloped organ sections. Departing from the lower visitor center, the tour descends into the deepest portions of the mapped pit anatomy. Although not as difficult as the guts and giddy up route, this 1-mile tour does require park visitors to descend and later climb an 8-story high, actively, I don't know that word, esophageal passage. Seen it. Reservations are recommended. Contact the park or visit a park website. A separate fee for endoscopic spelunking equipment is charged for this tour. No, this tour is not recommended to those who suffer from claustrophobia or the fear of being eaten alive. I think if you have the fear of being eaten alive, you don't show up to the fucking mystery flesh pit. You just don't go. Don't go. Pro tip. No. Rangers are available throughout the marked trails to help you with information, first aid, and coping mechanisms. All primary facilities within the Mystery Flesh Pit are hermetically enclosed, air-conditioned, and structurally reinforced. Temperatures within the enclosed areas of the pit are nominally 98.6 Fahrenheit year-round, which is like warm. It's Texas weather, with humidity ranging from 80 degrees to full saturation. 37 degrees Celsius, human temperatures. I don't know, maybe this thing's why Texas is so warm. So, I hate you and your band, because I hate that. I hate that a lot. Your band? $37 degrees is melting. That's like Texas summer. It's like normal. Maybe not for humans, but... Aren't humans 98.6? Like, isn't that average, like literally actually average temperature? Then I'm not going to Texas. You'd hate Texas. Fahrenheit. So it's like humid temperature in there. We've had an especially cold spring. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now at 6:30 at night. That puts it at, and cloudy. That's 26.6 degrees Celsius, almost 27. Round up if you want. That's just sort of Texas. Cave Recoups, IMAX, Visitor Center, publication models, and schedule of activities. Exhibits are available. Rangers can help you plan your visit. A kennel, and first aid center. And so people are bringing dogs down here? That straight up did not occur to me as a thing people would do. They have a kennel. You're putting dogs in this thing. How the hell did you convince a dog to go into the mystery flesh pit? A kennel. First aid session and a non-denominational chapel are available for a visitors center main building. In a 45-minute immersive educational film, children and fearful visitors will laugh at the animated hijinks of Cave Recoup as he learns about the mystery flesh pit and faces his fears being eaten alive. There's some things that you could just be afraid of, dude. Like, being eaten alive by the mystery flesh pit. You know, I don't even consider that really fear. I think that is like self-preservation, you know? Like, some things I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of. I would say I have a reasonable respect for. Like, the mystery flesh pit. You know, I could probably actually say that I'm afraid of that, you know? Like, fair. But no, that's actually legit. You should be afraid of some things because they can hurt you. The visitor center is below, right? Yeah, it mentions the visitor center is where you find the kennels. There are two. Okay. He learns to face his fears and being eaten alive and getting lost in the dark. Shows occur every hour within the park's state-of-the-art 200-seat IMAX theater. Lost in Boketh, thank you for 6 months of support. That's half a year. That's a very long time. You got a new like colored badge there. Thank you. Amniotic Thermal Springs. They have mentioned that they have to coerce children in. Just don't. I love that, like, just don't. It's just never a thing. I think I had a dream of this place. Once. It's wild. Like, that entry looks very familiar to a dream I had like a few years ago. The amniotic thermal springs located on the ground floor of the visitor center by the vending machines of the amniotic baths. Amniotic secretions are pumped into the glands deep within the pit for visitors who are unable to descend into the pit. These springs are known to have a range of positive effects on human psychology, physiology, as well as well-being, and are meant to be enjoyed both medicinally and recreationally. As visitor center is family-friendly facility, surface spring baths are diluted to a 1:20 potency ratio with filtered water. The higher concentrations are within adult-only baths. Park guests are encouraged to visit the Pleasure Dome. I cannot get over the Pleasure Domes in the meat pit. Located in the east of the lower visitor center complex within the Mystery Flesh Pit. The Burger King is located in the visitor center, the lower visitor center. There's a second visitor center. Okay, so where's the second? So this is where the dog park is. Then you've got the lower visitor center that's down here. Got it. Historic ritual grounds. Archaeological research of the grounds above the mystery pit uncovered the remains of an ancient ritual site that is believed to have been utilized by indigenous cultures, perhaps to communicate with the mystery flesh pit. Sadly, these ruins were destroyed by construction activity when the park was first discovered, and what little remains of the site offers no clues pertaining to the pit or activities which transpired. Today, the ritual grounds have picnic areas with tables, grills, drinking water, and restrooms. The Mystery Flesh Pit National Park is fortunate to host a range of corporate partners who add exceptional value to any park visit. The Marriott Hotel Suites is an award-winning hotel featuring 200 guest rooms and suites overlooking the pit. Other amenities can include outdoor pool, volleyball court, lodge, spa, convention center, and arcade. Please call for reservation information. The Gift Shop Food Concourse connects the Visitor Center and Marriott Hotel and offers unique shopping experiences featuring authentic Mystery Flesh Pit souvenirs and memorabilia. Dining options within the concourse include the world-famous Hard Rock Cafe, as well as a taste of the Southwest Fare of Chili's. 2. Chili's. Saying Chili's counts as Southwest food is sort of like saying that Olive Garden counts as Italian food. It just, no, it's offensive. No. Oh God, my voice is starting to get out of me. I don't know if I can read all this, but how about I just read this bit and then we can kind of gloss over some of this stuff. The Flesh Pit National Park trail system was published in 1981 and was first mapped by the superorganism to conform to the NPS graphic standards. Early trail maps were compiled from hundreds of individual surveys and measurements by spelunkers, explorers, and eventually park engineers to form a comprehensive picture of the Mystery Flesh Pit's internal anatomy. With the addition of lighted and air-conditioned reinforced tunnels in the 1970s, the park became more accessible to visitors than ever, necessitating the need for a concise, easy-to-read map familiar to any national park visitor. This edition here is a scan from 2000. It commemorates the 20th anniversary of the park's absorption into the national park system. Notable additions to this map over the older prints are the Hilton Intrapark Thermal Wellness Resort, as well as the redrawn property lines of commercial extraction areas, and the monorail line that is notably missing from this map, as its development would not be announced into the public until May of 2001. Well, dang, we should have had our wedding here. Yeah, you could have your wedding in the Mystery Flesh Pit. Also, welcome home, sweetheart. They've got awesome things. Like a thing that you show children. An IMAX thing to prevent children from being afraid of the Mystery Flesh Pit. And the Pleasure Domes. Because that's a thing they decided was a good idea. And calcified fused clown carcass. It's great. But the wife is home. That's a booty hole. Might be. Let me finish this page and then I'm going to go kiss the wife some. Is that good? Actually, how many more pages do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. We're almost done. I mean, they're fairly long pages, but yeah. Addition of the lighting and air conditioned reinforced tunnels. All right. The addition shows here. Okay. Only to finally open after dozens of delays in the autumn of 2006. High Noon Monsoon. That's a great name. Thank you for the 8 months. Oh, I'm missing the meat sounds. Sorry. All right. So what do we got here? We got the exterior. I have 1 to 2 hours. What should I do? Walk the film. I can't zoom in anymore. Walk the trails. See the historic ritual grounds. Visit the park. I have half a day. What should I do? Ride the gondola. I have a full day. What should I do? Bathe in the amniotic thermal springs. No eating or open drink containers. No pets. ADA approved service animals only into the pit. Honestly, I don't think you could get a pet in there. So this is the inside. I'm trying to figure out where's... Okay, there's the lower visitor center, and it overlooks the lower gastric... or the lesser gastric sea, I guess. Because I remember them talking about that. Control zoom, it's still grainy. But good guess. Dogs are smart enough to not go into the giant flesh creature. Yes, they are. Here, I'll leave this up for y'all. Let me have like a 2-minute break to go and get water. I'll be right back. Kiss the wife, all that jazz. 2 minutes. Not knock over the camera. BRB. Sounds good. Love you too. Alright, I am back. Set the timer so that way I'm not like super off base on the timing there. Alright. So where are we? We finished that one. Oh, the well of abhumans, geobiological feature, the concrete well cap. Do not throw stuff into this. Yeah, neither of us are blazing it. Surprised our neighbors aren't blazing it though. The well of abhumans is the name given to the unique fluid duct that was discovered within the 1980s by work crews installing telecom lines within the Mestre flesh pit. The relatively small 1.2 meter diameter, so that's like 4 feet, tube was notable in that it comprised of tissue types previously unencountered, serving a role in a then unknown anatomical system within the park. Once the duct was cut open and the upper duct was sealed, it was found to be saturated with formaldehyde. After a few hours of slow, they saturated it with formaldehyde? Slow descent to bladder-like organ was encountered by explorers, which filled with a dense sponge-like tissue. Additionally, there were discovered the bodies of 3 unidentified mammals in a state of severe decay, but otherwise preserved by the formaldehyde. Yeah, okay, so the formaldehyde was there before they went in. They didn't do that. Great. So the proportions and musculature of the bodies initially led the investigators to believe that they were human remains. Additional investigation reveals the musculoskeletal features wholly different from any known hominid. Later radiological dating of the bone samples from the bodies indicate the startling disparity between the 3 corpses. One was dated in the 10th century, one dated over 35,000 BC. With the final specimen having bones entirely consisting of a dense plastic polymer. As you peer into this well, please do not deposit coins, trash, or other foreign debris inside. Certain materials may cause damage or discolor the concrete wall surrounding the open duct. So they didn't cap it off, they just have this death pit. I hate it. Like, what is that? Final specimen having bones entirely made out of plastic. Considering how many people just died, I mean, like, these 2 I get. And why is it like they capped off the ceiling part? I guess. Halloween skeleton? Maybe? Ventral environment beyond this bulkhead constitutes the interior systems of a living organism. This environment is actively hostile to human life. Serious injury and death may occur without proper training and equipment. I mean, honestly, aliens, probably. Okay, so what's the little, like, blurb at the end here? Bronchial forest within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park were enormous draw of the hiking crowds. Spacious organic caverns through the dark provided warm, humid respite for avid hikers from the frigid temperatures of winter months. Sightseers enjoyed the steady stream of fresh air outside within the bronchial passages, despite thousands of feet underground. It was from these great forests that the iconic and unnerving moans of the flesh pit emanated. Sadly, like all of the wondrous geobiological features within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the bronchial forests were closed to the public for the good following the tragic disaster in July of 2007. Though keen ear may still be able to hear the moans of the PBS as far as Abilene, Texas. Hate it. Like, you should not be in something that loud. Like, that would blow your eardrums just right? I have played Majora's Mask on stream fairly recently. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. You know the Garo? Yes. I love them. They're like the ninja guys. Yeah, check After Hours if you want to watch that. I think if you search RevScarecrow, Majora's Mask, you should find it. Speedrun Majora's Mask? Absolutely not. I have a poster. Yeah, again, I love this shop. This shop is great. Like, this crap is wonderful. So I know that the Garo's nickname is Bob. I did not know that. A living, breathing force. Take in the cool air as it rushes around you. Breathe in the living history of hundreds of millions of years of natural evolution and adaptation. Do we know that? Southern bronchial forests, like all bronchial forests in the Mystery Flesh Park, are enormous respiratory organs that fulfill a variety of roles in a highly complex and interdependent ecosystem of the Permian Basin superorganism. Each year, millions of tons of gases, such as carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, are exchanged within the colossal organs as it takes slow breaths. These long breaths, this is just like, why would you do this? It's just his lungs. These long breaths fluctuate with the changing seasons. It takes about 6 months for one of these lungs to fully inhale or exhale. During the inhalation process, cool air slowly inflates as many thousands of bronchioles within the forest. This provides the Permian Basin superorganism with the oxygen and large volume of relatively cold winter air. Conversely, during the warmer summer months, a slow exhalation process disperses the buildup of carbon dioxide and waste heat. The thermal exchange of waste heat, it breathes so slow. Holy shit. You die if it coughs. 100%, yeah. Like people did. That was the 2007 disaster. A guided tour group led by an experienced park ranger. Park schedules, ask someone. Okay. Unlike many unique environments within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the bronchial forests exhibit a climate that is nominally habitable to humans. Fresh oxygenated air is drawn from the surface of the park, allowing visitors to experience the stunning vast vistas and breathtaking scenery of the geobiological formation without the need for bulky respirators, helmets, or other heavy protective gear. However, unlike the majority of the park, wouldn't the time where it's breathing out the carbon dioxide be really bad? Like summer, I guess it is? It's just filled with carbon dioxide. Many of the trails found within the bronchial forest are underdeveloped and preserved in their natural state. Chasms and bronchial passages in the forest are generally unmarked. Before hiking in the forest, please seek advice from a park ranger and ask for an updated map. This contains updated information in specific trails, conditions, and smart hiking practices from either the lower visitor center or from our ranger stations. Many believe they are strong hikers and that a hike into the bronchial forest is easy. Know your limits. Trails are closed from May to late September every year as it completes its exhalation cycle. So yeah, you can't go here. Good. Not good. You shouldn't be in here in the first place, regardless of the time of year. But during the exhalation, the excessive carbon dioxide concentration, excessive heat, and aggressive behavioral patterns of local wildlife create potentially dangerous conditions for guests and park personnel. Oh, wow. A fumike landing on a visitor's arm during an uncharacteristically benign encounter. No, dude, no. Many of the unique, fascinating species of plants and animals that call the bronchial forest home As you hike throughout the bronchioloids and spelunk the alveolar sacs, I don't know what that word means. Watch carefully for existing colonies of fungus, lichen, slimes, and molds which thrive in the humid and dark interiors of the mystery flesh pit. Macrobacteria often feed on these sessile life forms, with some varieties forming large colonies in the lower mucus-rich crypts of the forests. Multi-winged Fumlicales, a blind species which thrives within the larger caverns of the forest, feed on the microbacterial colonies and visceral hunting displays. Ask a park ranger for information about the season feeding patterns and hands-on wildlife demonstrations. No. Just don't go. I'm glad this isn't real. Luminescent fungal colony found exclusively, okay, sure, a lone macrobacteria extending sensory appendages as it forages for food. Yeah, man, no. No, man, no. Ooh. Finally, therapeutic benefits of the amniotic ballast, now available in your own home. This is so 80s. Like, this dude's hairy ass chest. Like, you wouldn't have that in a modern ad. It's got to be 80s. If you're into the good life, you should know that GeoSpa. You should know about the GeoSpa. We believe every person deserves to plunge into the miraculous, rejuvenating, stimulating effects of the amniotic ballast. The GeoSpa is expertly engineered and installed by professional technicians upon white glove delivery. It comes complete with a state-of-the-art electric heater, 2 speed pumps, highly efficient filter, a high efficiency filter, 24 automatic control center with a waterproof remote control, 6 adjustable hydro nozzles to tickle your fancy, whether or whoever you might be. Bleh. It's the funny sex juice. Yeah, it's the stuff that the pleasure pits are made out of. Expertly engineered, fully assembled, and pre-tested. Just add a few of very appreciative friends. Discover all the features that make the GeoSpa luxurious by nature, superior by design. Write our free, lavishly illustrated catalog, or call toll-free at this number. Mention this advertisement when you order to receive 1 free weekly amniotic ballast refill canister to your system. $280. Wow. The moment the properties of the amniotic ballast were realized, it's $280 a week. Is that right? There was a rush to export the experience of bathing in the natural thermal springs of the mystery flesh pit into the home. The difficulties of this proposition resided within the additional properties of the ballast, to begin losing some of its potency when removal of the venereal environment. While of course possible through combined strategy of pressurization, heating, and concentration of chemical stabilization, such efforts were never cheap or easily portable. As a result, few but relatively wealthy ever enjoyed the full benefits of the ballast bathing outside the mystery flesh pit, which ended up driving more and more visitors to the park as the health and recreational value of ballast became more widespread. Awful. And limited edition Anodyne Corporation iron-on patches. And that's hashtag evil corporation. I mean, yeah. But that's literally all of Mystery Flesh Pits as of time of recording. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, recommend other series. Let me know. Check out what Boys Vert is, as well as we're probably going to do the Monument Mythos next. We might do It's so well made. I hate everything about this place. If these were real somehow, they would be cool to have. These you can buy. That's what it's saying. You can buy them. Here's the shop. I think it's under home goods. Yeah, here you go. It's $10. There you are. I don't make any money from it, but I want to support this guy by telling you guys about the shop because it's cool, man. But yeah, you can get Anodyne logo patch. Monument Mythos might be good just to prevent me from blowing out my voice. So I don't know when we're gonna get into that, but we'll check it out. But Monument Mythos, Boys Vert, Gemini Home Entertainment, those are all on the table, I think. But I think we're going to do Monument Mythos next because I promised to do that one next. There's like a hair? No, it's tape. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and bounce now because my throat is killing me. But we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Again, I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to be late. I also need to pick up some more paint because I'm realizing that I'm low on white. I need to get some more white paint. So let me check and see if there's any art. There's not. But we'll go and raid Mike. He's also doing the charity thing. So I'm going to raid him, but you guys should check out the charity we're doing. It is helping people out people from Ukraine who are dealing with all of the crap that's happening there. And if you want to help them, no weapons, just food and medical supplies. So that'd be cool. But Alex Kansas is working on something on his channel right now. Wait, like Twitch or YouTube or like currently live, or what are we doing? YouTube. He doesn't do Twitch. Okay. I can't really raid him, so I'll raid Mike then. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!